Okay, we are live, Nancy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first ever WGN News Google Plus Hangout. And I am welcoming you to one of our live trucks. I'm sitting in it right now. It usually seats 3 people, but my camera guys, my crew, wow, there's somebody hopefully is okay, and that's not breaking news that I'll have to go cover. But my camera guys are being awfully shy. But hopefully they can come in and explain all this technology that we work with every day. We have a really exciting career, really, because I never know where I'm going to wind up every day. So today we are at the Dirksen Federal Building, which is in downtown Chicago, and it is the only federal courthouse in America that allows cameras into the lobby area. And that's where we position ourselves within a pen, and we can get shots of newsmakers as they're arriving for court, and we have a designated area where we can interview newsmakers when we come out. So just 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago, I was in the lobby interviewing today's newsmaker, who is a former county commissioner here in Chicago, and he was convicted of tax evasion. Today was his sentencing day. He was sentenced to just 6 months in prison, which was somewhat of a surprise, and obviously he was quite happy. And he's a very colorful character, William Beavers, and he's always great for sound bites. So we know that when he's going to be in the news, we're going to get some colorful sound that's going to be on the air. But you can see here behind me, this is the laptop editor that we used to, and that's the prosecutor that we just edited. And really, I can't touch any of the equipment for union reasons. And this is, we have decks where we can, view all of the footage that we got. All the, you see the courtroom sketches there. We had a court artist in court with us, and that's the thing about covering a court case, is that we can't show the court proceedings because cameras are not allowed in court here. So it's always fun to run into our court artist because he's very talented, and I'm always fascinated in watching how he operates because he does it so fast, and he truly does get a nice image, and he captures like whatever moment it is in court that is pertinent to our story. But now that I've told you a bit about where we are and where we're parked and the story we're covering today, I really want to take your questions and, allow you to, you want to see the mess I made in the truck?
Yes.
Okay. There's my purse on the floor. Okay, these are all my courtroom notes. See, this was all the stuff I was jotting down as court was in session. So I take notes the old-fashioned way. I still feel it's the fastest. I've tried to take notes on my iPad, but electronic devices are still not too welcome in court. So I do things the old-fashioned way, and I highlight, I underline, and so when I'm reporting, it is pretty much old school, but often I am armed with my iPad. So I will report off my iPad probably 50% of the time, and I use a really great app called, what's it called? Notability. I use the Notability app, which is awesome for script writing because I can throw in sound bites, I can throw in, I can record interviews while I'm out in the field. So it's very, very cool. But you can see this is what I reported off of during our midday news because it was literally developing as we went on the air. And the prosecutors spoke at the microphone like, I don't know, probably 8 minutes before we went on the air. So it was a very tight turnaround. Then I was also uptight about this hangout. So
yeah, we actually have a question from somebody who's watching.
Okay.
Hi, Nancy. This is from Michelle Lee. She says, hi, Nancy. Trying to watch from Madison. Hope you're doing well. What do you think of Hangouts? What do you think?
I love Hangouts. I love that it's interactive. I can, hear from viewers, and I want to hear what you guys think. I mean, do you think this is worthwhile to do? I've always connected with viewers through social media. I think this is another way to connect with viewers and, show you, I guess, the guts of the news, because you're basically seeing how we make the donuts. And it's funny because every morning sometimes we'll set out and, right before a live shot, the guys will say, time to make the donuts. And, this is how we make the donuts. But I like Hangouts. This is our first time doing it officially at WGN. But when Google first debuted it, I did try it in a live truck. And it was a very close call because instantly there were two men online who did not appear to be dressed. And that was my end of experimentation with Hangouts until now. So I hope all of you will keep your clothes on.
We will.
I'm happy to take any other questions, and we can go for another 15 minutes, 20 minutes, because then the guys are on overtime, really on overtime, and we got to go.
All right, first question. Before the live shot comes to you,
yes,
obviously the producer talks to you.
Yes. We have, I'll try and show you our rundown. So each show is produced in here. That's okay. I got it. My cameraman's holding my camera for me. I'm pulling it up. And each show is produced and blocked out in a way that, here, I'm going to turn the camera now so you can see what I see when I have our shows built into my iPad. So, is there a glare on there or not? I think the better light's off. Okay, turn off the light. Okay, this is our show rundown on my iPad. So I had our IT guy set me up so I can access all of our shows. So right now we are in our 11 o'clock show, so it's at 11 a.m. WGN. I can see what's in our shows, and I can see where I am in the show. Here, Beaver sentencing. That was my story today. So I can even click in there and see what they've written to introduce me ahead of my story. So I know what time I am in the show, which anchors are going to be tossing to me, what they're going to say, and I always try to make sure that we're not too redundant in giving the same information, because in a 1-hour newscast, there are commercials, and I think people's time is valuable, so I always try to make sure I'm not wasting people's time by giving them the same information twice. So I always try and, report and operate efficiently. But so having this app on my iPad is very helpful because I can see where I am in the show. I can access everything. The only thing with the iPad app is I cannot rewrite anything. So if I want to redo something, I need to contact a writer and have them redo it in the show for me. So, but that's essentially how I know where I am in a newscast and what is going to be said ahead of me, or even if there's, sometimes there's what we call a live tease, and that's when you see a reporter out in the field saying, hey, here I am live at federal court, and coming up, we've got this, we've got that. Sometimes, they forget to tell us that we have a live tease coming up. So if I check the rundown and I see, oh my gosh, I have a live tease coming up, I'll know to get out there. But usually directors and producers are really good about telling us because it's their show, it's their baby, they're putting it together, and they want it to look good. And, we want to help them make it look good. So it's definitely a team process, and throwing it together every day is work, and it's a puzzle that pieces together, and it's fun to put the puzzle together every day. And I never know what the puzzle's going to be. Like today it was William Beavers, and I never know if tomorrow there's gonna be a fire or a murder or anything else that could happen at any moment. So I think that's the news business. We're just always on call for something to happen, and I think local news is something that affects so many people, and I think that's why, you know, local news will always have a place, because it's an important part of people's lives, and you need to know what's happening in your community. You need to hear the weather from Tom Skilling, because you need to know what you need to wear if you're gonna need an umbrella that day. So that's why I think, you know, the local news will always have a part in people's lives. And I mean, I'm thrilled that you guys make WGN a part of your life, so I appreciate that.
We just had a new participant, Cindy. Oh no, her video just went away. Cindy was just here, and I'm not sure where she went.
Okay.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. How are you? I don't hear Cindy, but...
Hi,
okay.
I was on mute. I just took my video off because
Yay.
it's weird. So.
Okay.
Hi.
Great to
Welcome.
see you. It's awesome to see everybody. I mean, this is really cool because I can actually see people, and I love that, you know, people who've supported me in social media and in real life are here. And that touches me so much. And everyone else who's watching the Hangout on air, I appreciate that so much as well. But I love that this is a two-way street, and so I'm happy to take whatever other questions or...
Yeah, we've got some more. We've got
okay.
MJ Tam has a question for you.
Okay.
She says, can you share the most exciting report you've ever been assigned to?
Been assigned to, well, in New York, I covered a TWA plane crash. I mean, that was tragic and exciting and sad to cover. Plane crashes are always, you know, the adrenaline is going because you're trying to gather information and gather images and you know, get the news out there of what happened and are there casualties and, you know, is there danger to anyone in the immediate area. So oftentimes breaking news is always exciting to cover. I think my most fun story I've covered this year that wasn't quite assigned, but I found it through social media, is about urban exploring in Chicago. These are guys and girls who illegally enter abandoned buildings to capture that urban decay, that beauty that's just like rotting away in the city. And I loved just the way they operate and the images that they capture, and they're really not out to destroy anything. They're out to just capture the beauty of what once was. And I really enjoyed doing that story and getting to know that community, which is really a huge underground community, not just in Chicago, but all over the world. So I really enjoyed that story. And there's so many exciting stories. I got to cover, you know, a presidential visit. I got to meet former President Bush, and I got to sit and have dinner with him one time. That was very cool. But there are just so many cool stories that it's hard to pinpoint just one. And there's a lot of sad stories that we cover. And it's interesting, yesterday our company sent out an email for anyone who may need support professionally, just because I think, you know, this industry is so emotionally draining. And I blogged about it just recently, just seeing dead people. There are images that we cannot show on the air just because they're just too graphic. People with bullet holes, people, dead people, lots of blood, and these are things we don't show on the air. But I see them, and I store it away in my brain, and these images are really vivid in my head. So it does build up the emotion, and I mean, I know of people in the news business who do need some kind of outlet, and it does build up. It does get to you after a while. And, you know, here in Chicago, there's just so much crime and murder and sadness to cover.
Yeah. Is any of our participants have any questions, or else I can go to some other ones from our Q&A chat.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I do. Hello.
Ted Cervantes, hi.
Hi, Ted.
I'm wondering, Nancy, if you're thinking of expanding the format of what you're doing right this second. This is one Hangout. You wouldn't do this every time you did something. Do you have anything else, any other formats in mind for using Hangouts?
Do you have any suggestions? I'm happy to try this. I wonder if, because right now I'm just on Wi-Fi, I wonder if we're rolling, I mean, even if we're rolling back to the station, if I could be hanging out with people discussing whatever story I cover that day. I mean, I'm happy to experiment, and I'm open to suggestions, and I think for Elise to, you know, produce a Hangout is work for her away from the web, but it is fairly easy just to hook up and do a Hangout. But I'm happy to explore different ways that it can be useful and informative for people. Can I ask why you've joined this Hangout?
Why did I join it? I'm interested in Hangouts a lot with the different. I teach acting, and so Hangouts with actors, acting, and students, and students in other cities, and so on. So I'm trying to find out all I can about Hangouts, and I really appreciate this opportunity.
I'm thrilled to try it, and you know, I love technology and I love social media, and I think that this could be another avenue for TV news to expand. And you know, I was just talking with a colleague in court from another station, and he said they had a consultant come in to talk about TV and digital media, and they described TV news, broadcast news, as the Titanic, and that we're going down, and it's time to bail. And I don't view it in that dismal of a way, but I do believe that, you know, we need to evolve. We need to redo the ship. And if the ship means, you know, check out this other ship, that's pretty darn cool too. Yeah. And why can't you have a foot over on that other ship too? And that's how I view the internet, because more and more consumers are getting their news here. I'm talking into an iPhone right now. And the fact is, TV sales are way down. People are just not buying TVs anymore. They're getting their news on their computers and their mobile devices. And if we're not coming to you through here, through Hangouts, through wherever you need to get your news, you're not going to get it at all. So I'm happy to explore these other avenues. So, I mean, maybe Hangouts will become something bigger. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a way for us to, you know, expand our coverage of things. I don't know. But I don't think that, you know, this is like an exclusive little club. This is our exclusive behind-the-scenes club right now. Maybe it'll become bigger. I joined Twitter before a lot of journalists joined it, and now, you know, it's this huge monster machine for news. How do we know that this isn't going to become bigger? I don't know. It may not.
You're kind of already answering one of the other questions we have from MJ Tam that was kind of voted up here in our Q&A app. How has social media changed the way you report? So you're starting to talk about that a little bit. But.
Yeah. And I appreciate MJ Tam so much. She is the founder of ChicagoNista.com here in Chicago. I met her through Twitter. And because of MJ, I'm now involved in a web show, Chicago Nista Live. And she has really opened my eyes to the web world and blogging and connecting with people in ways more than just on the air. You know, when I first got into television, it was report, here I am, blah, 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 you know, back to you guys in the studio, end of story. And then, you know, once in a while I would get mail, actual mail. Nowadays, I don't get any mail. I get emails, I get direct messages, I get tweets, and I love that interaction. and it's so immediate. And I love that convenience, and I think viewers appreciate it too. And it's so much easier for me to write back and respond to people. But social media definitely has changed the news business, and some people have been slower to grasp it than others. But I love it. I love technology. I love the power of social media, and I love, I guess it's communication, and that's why I became a journalist. I love words, I love writing, I love communicating, and I guess that's all part of it. And, you know, social media is a very important avenue. And there are journalists who are still fighting it, though.
Yeah. This is a funny question from Roland Lee. He asks, when out on the field, do you plan out where to go to eat after your assignment's over?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, wait. I have to show everybody what's across the street. Let me turn everything. Okay, we're going to leave the live truck. Okay. We're going to leave the live truck. And we are at Plymouth Court, which is right downtown. This is the federal courthouse where I just reported. Let me know if the signal breaks up, okay?
Okay.
But right across the street from federal court is Garrett's Popcorn. That place is so dangerous. I'm going to try really hard not to go in there. But I love Garrett's Cheese Corn. It is so dangerous. But, yeah, I think I love coming to federal court because when we're down here, it's great to plot and plan coffee and bathrooms. Okay, right near our WGN truck and our second vehicle, behind our second vehicle, back there is the Standard Club. And the doorman there is named Chris. He's a great friend of mine. I've gotten to know him over the years just covering stories here at the federal building. And every time I come to federal court, I have to go over and say hi to Chris, and then he'll let me use the bathroom in the Standard Club, which is really beautiful.
Awesome.
And the John Marshall Law School also, they're awesome about letting us use the bathroom. But we'll go Plymouth Diner down the street there if we do have a break, but seldom do we have a long break where we're allowed to, you know, really chill and have a sit-down meal because we're so busy covering whatever it is, because our morning show goes from 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. and then there's 4 a.m. till 10 a.m. and then we're back on the air at 11 a.m. with our midday news. So it's a very short window of time that we can do anything else, and usually in that time I'm busy preparing, editing. I mean, this interview, you know, went, gosh, 15 minutes. There was another probably 25-minute interview with Beavers and his lawyers. So it was a lot of footage to go through and pick sound bites. And, you know, and I always feel like it's like putting a school report together where you're trying to you're reading and researching all kinds of things, and you're picking things and putting it all together to present to the teacher. So, but you're trying to do it in a concise way.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I'm doing a school report every day. It's like reading lots of things, gathering lots of things, and then boiling it all down into a minute and a half for you to take away on a newscast.
Some people want to, can we meet the crew that's with you in the truck?
Okay. Yes, they're so shy, but let's see if let's say hi to, this is Pat Parmenter.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? I can't even hear what they're saying.
I know. They're saying hi. Well, can you hear him in my speaker?
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to explain what it's like to work? I know. Okay. Do you want to? Here, I'll let him talk to you guys. Hold on. Okay.
Here, you want me to take one of your?
Care. You can hear.
My ears are clean, I
See
swear.
if you have any questions for him.
All right, go ahead, guys. Anybody got any questions?
What do you do? Talk to us about what you do.
I am actually Nancy's photographer. We work in pairs. One of us is usually in a live truck, and the other one is usually her photographer shooter for the day. Me and John, who ran away as soon as this Google chat started, he's a little camera shy. But usually, like today, or yesterday, I shot with Nancy, so I was her photographer, and John was in the truck. But today, I'm in the truck, and we usually switch it up every couple days, so we stay fresh.
Anyone have any other questions?
Before you go live, do you have to take some B-roll shots?
It depends a lot on what story we're on. Like a lot of times, like today for the Beaver story, we didn't have to shoot any B-roll because pretty much our first live shot is at 4:30 in the morning, and we already have file tape of him when he was in court about a month or so ago. Yeah, with court sketches and all that stuff. So, but sometimes like when there's breaking news, like we got to hustle to get out to a story. We got to shoot as much B-roll as we can, feed it back to the station before our first hit at 4:30. So. It just depends on what story you're on that morning.
All right, so I think we're going to try to wrap this up. I have one last question from Nancy from the Q&A, but anybody else in the
question for you?
Okay. All right.
Before?
Hold on.
Unless any other participants have any questions for Nancy, Ted, Mike, or should I ask her this last one from the Q&A folks?
I asked you from Q&A.
Okay, sure. So this last one, well, they want to know just a little bit about how long have you been a reporter, and also, do you have any advice for people that are interested in journalism?
I have been a reporter for...
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost you, Nancy. Oh, no! Shoot! Well, let's see if we can get Nancy back here. Oh,
there we go.
There we go. Let's see if she can come back to us here.
Did I hang up on you guys?
You did.
I'm
you
sorry.
Did.
I was trying to turn the camera and I hung up accidentally. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So
yeah. Well, I'm new to this. But I've been a reporter for just about 30 years. I'm old for the news business. I mean, honestly. And I love it. My advice for people hoping to get in, who are in, it's so important to love writing and just to love doing this. I hate people who hate this job or complain about this job because there are so many people out there who would love this job. And I appreciate this job because I love the writing and the reporting aspect. I love communicating with people, even via Google Hangout. So I think if you don't have that passion for writing and storytelling and relaying information in a compassionate way, then this business is not cut out for you. There are a lot of bitter people in this business, just because, like so many businesses, there's been cutting back. There's changes in technology have changed the way we operate, and that has forced people to evolve. And, you know, you can either embrace it, or I just don't feel like complaining about it gets you anywhere. I mean, even if you spend half an hour complaining, half an hour later, it's still there. It's still the same. What a waste of breath and energy. So I just feel like, you know, evolving with the business is so important because it's not any one particular person who's at fault. I mean, technology is changing to benefit everybody. And, you know, I can't wait to get a new iPhone 5S, or I'm going to hold out for the 6, I think, because I already have a 5. But I love iOS 7. I mean, I think the changes, that people have developed, you know, the search bar, swiping from the bottom to get all those great icons right away, brilliant.
Yes.
I appreciate that technology. So I think, you know, it's important to embrace things and evolve no matter what business you're in, because the only guarantee is change. It's gonna change. I mean, all this technology we're using right now is gonna change. Probably a year from now, when we look back at this Google Hangout, we're gonna say, oh my God, she was using an iPhone 5.
Well, thanks again for everyone that came today. Obviously, we'll post this on, on our Google Plus page, and we'll put it on our website. Also, I have someone Nancy, a last comment from the Q&A that says, Big Tiny, I just wanted to say hi. Signed, Slow-Mo in Cleveland.
Oh, cute. Hello, Cleveland.
Yay.
And hello, everybody, for joining us today. Sandy in Oregon, she's seen me in my Oregon cheerleading outfit at the University of Oregon. So I thank you all for participating, and thank you all out on air watching from wherever you're watching. We're going to analyze this and see where we go from here, but we would love to hang out again. I think it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.